can see that the color is already becoming light brown. Look at the color. It has left from this bright red to this. So, but we need to still leave it on fire. We need under water. Sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. Depending on your tolerance for pepper, you can add rodo. It's called habanero pepper. You can add that. Or you add this hot spice. But if you are a person that doesn't like anything pepper, you may let it go. But you can add like this sachet. 1 sachet of this for this quantity we are preparing. It's light brown, so we can go with our water. So we cover it and let it come to boil. Yes, ma'am. So, like a sachet of this, depending on your choice of pepper. But for this, since it's all of us that we are going to have a feel of it, let's make do with half. Let's use everything. Some don't even add at all. So we cover it. So at this point of adding water, we can add our salt. We already added salt to our dough, don't forget. But I mentioned the salt you are adding, replace the salt you need to add to this, because this is what gives you that feel. Meat pie. This is not what you are really tasting, but this. So this is it. Half spoon of this. We are going to use our spice. A cupful. So while we allow it to simmer together, we'll get our cover and cover it.
Sorry, ma. What of someone that cannot afford to get the spices? What can the person use?
The common seasoning we use at home to enhance the taste of our food. I don't want to mention any brand. Use the common seasoning you use at home to add flavor to your food. Àwọn amóúnjẹdùn tá máa ń fi sí oúnjẹ wa tá bá fẹ́ sí ọbẹ̀, ẹ lè fi wóró kan sí. Ṣé ohun tí mo sọ yé yín? Tẹ́ ẹ bá lo ìsebẹ̀, ìyẹn tẹ́ bá ti lo ìsebẹ̀, iyọ̀, ìkejì ẹ̀, amóúnjẹdùn tá máa ń fi sí, ẹ máa rún ẹyọ kan sí. Tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ lo eléyìí, ṣùgbọ́n àwa máa sọ yí pé ó dára ká lo nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé àwa mọ bá ṣe ṣẹ̀dá ẹ̀. Ṣọ́rọ̀ tí mo ń sọ yé wa, ìdí tí àwa fi rọ̀ mọ́ eléyìí nìyẹn. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́. Ti ṣe tán bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, a ti máa lo 15 minutes. So màá wá tu, màá tún tú ọwọ́, màá tún fi tu ṣù. Tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ torí àkókò wa, ẹ jẹ́ máa sọ fún wa, tó bá jẹ́ pé ṣíkì náà la fẹ́ lò, bá ṣe bu òróró sí, tá fi garlic sí, tá da ẹran sí, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la ṣe máa kọ́kọ́ da ṣíkì sí, àtúnṣe bí mo ṣe ṣe yẹn. Bó dẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹja náà, bá ṣe máa ṣe nìyẹn. So a máa tẹ̀síwájú nsìn. Ọwọ́ tú dóò tá ti ṣe síbí tá bá ti fi tu ṣù. Àwa gé níwọ̀nba. Àgbẹ̀ sórí kneading board. Ṣé ń gbọ́ mi tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá dẹ̀ ní kneading board sílé a lè lo tray. Tó bá dẹ̀ ní workspace bíi table tá ti fọ̀ dáadáa tá mọ̀ pé ó mọ́ a lè lọ lórí table tó bá ṣáà ti smooth báyìí. A dẹ̀ máa nílò nǹkan tá lè fi lọ jáde. Làwọn máa lò níbí. A máa wá mú eléyìí tá ti bù báyìí. À á lọ síbí à á lọ sàn tó máa fi pẹlẹbẹ kò wá ń ṣe pé kó pẹlẹbẹ jù mi mọ ń tẹ bóyá ẹ mọ tó ń jẹ́ 5 millimeter ẹ máa jẹ́ kó rí báyìí bó ṣe máa kí tó lélẹ́yìí kò ń ṣe pé kó wá kí gbòǹgbò báyìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ ní inú bíi ká lè wà ní nǹkan tó máa gùn díẹ̀. A máa ń láti bu flour sí ilẹ̀ bíi ibi tá a bá ti fẹ́ nídìí ẹ̀ a máa ń láti bu flour síbẹ̀. For our English listeners, you now need this dough we are using bottle, that's improvising with what you can make do at home. Actually, we have a kneading pin, it's a bit long or wide, which we may not have a workspace to use that here. Bí kó má bàa máa lẹ̀ mọ́ ìsàlẹ̀ tó bá ti lẹ̀ mọ́ ìsàlẹ̀ gbogbo ń tà lọ a máa já bútẹ́bútẹ́ padà. So we need so that we smoothen it out, then we sprinkle on this surface too. So now we had our diced carrots and Irish potato. So we have a cup of this. These diced carrots. Then we give it a good mix. So let's leave it to simmer for some time while we and for advanced the whites or the Western world has made things much better or easier for us. We also have some devices that once you cut your dough like this, it's maybe 2,000 naira or 2,005. You just put it inside. Some people even to have a uniform, number one, shape, size, design of your meat pie. You know the one my hand will be doing, it might not be uniform. But if you have a device, a small, like it's made with plastic, you just clamp it like this and it will transfer it to the next place. You clamp it together. After you have added your dough, that is done. You will not need all this manual. But for people that don't have access to those facilities, we should make do with what we have. That's why we are using readily available materials so that you can easily practicalize it at home and you can also make a living out of it. So we are done with the need. Depending on the size of your cutter, depending on the size of your cutter, for this 8 cups, you can get 20 pieces of meat pie. But to 20 pieces. But so that we have, all of us can at least sample what we are doing. Let's make do with this container. But this is too small. Let's make use of this. See the thickness. I said like what? 5 mm. So while we are setting this out, you know I mentioned that you would use this spoon. I showed us one green spoon the other time. Anyway, that spoon is 2 of this makes that particular spoon. So in another container, let's have this container. In another container, you take 4 of this. You know I said